Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Planet Mom. Today I'm talking about how to budget your household income and expenses in Google Sheets. So firstly, why Google Sheets, not Excel? Because Google Sheet is an online platform, cloud-based. So if there are two or more people involved in the budgeting process, it is easy for everyone to update and share it between the household. And whereas Excel, it can be saved in a laptop or a desktop, and every time you have to access that particular laptop or a desktop or save here and there to access it and update it. So Google Sheets in that way is much better. So let's jump into the video and check how I budget my household expenses and income. So here I've taken an assumption of a family of four where two people are earning, the husband and wife. So that's the reason I put income person one salary, taking it as 4,000. Again, person two salary, taking it as 4,000. And there can be other incomes like benefits, commission, or dividends, or any other income if you're having. You can just update it over there, and this is the total income. This part I will come back later. So let's jump into the expenses. Expenses I've divided into three different categories: budgeted, actual, and balance. So budgeted means what you're foreseeing for that particular month, how much you're planning to spend. Actual is what you're actually spending, and the balance is obviously budgeted minus actual. If you have over budgeted or under budgeted for that particular category, you will come to know. Again, I've subdivided each category of expenses into different subcategories like housing, utility, food, auto, personal, entertainment, and medical, and also others. In housing, I put mortgage, maintenance, anything related to the house, home insurance, property tax. Uh, Mortgage may or may not be applicable for you. It may be a rent or any other, or if not, it's your own property or mortgage is done, then that doesn't apply. But home insurance might be there. Obviously, the expenses are subject to each and every household, but yeah, that's how I've listed here. And then utilities, of course, your electricity, water, internet, home security, natural gas, and your mobile phones. Food, groceries, and eating out. Auto, uh, if it's one car, two car, if you have a car payment pending, auto insurance, gas. Personal, if you have kids and their classes or your own classes, your gym membership, or any personal other like salon expenses, all these expenses are personal expenses. Shopping and entertainment, watching a cinema or theater or musical events. Netflix, Amazon, I've categorized those as entertainment. Medical, one is health insurance, which is a bigger kind of umbrella kind of a thing, which covers your dental and your other medical expenses apart from your normal GP. Medicine, yes, of course, prescription drugs or your any other particular medical need that would be covered under this category. I've also given a category called others where I have listed miscellaneous. Miscellaneous can be, for example, my mother came in to live with us for some time, so I had to apply for her visa. That expense is a extra expense for me, so that comes under a miscellaneous expense. Contingency is a saving for a contingency. So every month try to I recommend to put a particular amount so that that's there for you any if any contingency arises, like there's a leak, your car breaks down, you need to change a tire, any contingency expense related to home or your vehicle or any personal contingency expenses as well can be covered under that. You need not worry about it, the money is already there. So these are the categories I have put in. So I've also put in percentages. So um, this is the total expense I'm planning to spend, out of which 33% is my mortgage. So Based on that, I've calculated all the percentages so you can come to know how much you are at. So I have, before proceeding to the expenses, let me give you a couple of tips which I want to let you know. So first tip is, please create a joint bank account. uh, Two parties, three parties, how many ever persons involved, I would recommend a joint bank account where you have a checking and a savings account. Checking account majorly for all your fixed payments which are scheduled, and a savings account for the contingency. You can save your contingency amount over there, and checking account for all other expenses. So each person puts a particular amount to that particular joint account. For example, me and my husband, um, the percentage may vary. Like you can put 50-50. He puts 50%. Like whatever the budget is 6,000. So he puts 3,000. I put 3,000, and we go take it forward from there. Or you can have a 60-40 arrangement, or you can have any other arrangement depending on each household, and it's completely on you. But decide on a percentage and put the complete amount in the joint checking account, so that everything is going from there, and you have your own savings or your own money with you, some money left out for you. So the third thing is, automate all your bill payments, please. That saves a lot of mess, because uh, there's you don't want to miss a payment, you don't want to have a bounce check, you don't want to hit your credit, right? So it's better to automate all your fixed payments, like your utilities, your mortgage, and everything, so that it is paid timely. Since you're already having the money in your account transferred in the week of the month, so everything is available for auto payments. Use your credit card only for your expenses like grocery, shopping, eating out, or miscellaneous. Why I recommend this is variable expenses. You cannot determine how much it is. So, and obviously you will get some points as well. Of course, if you automate your payments with credit card, you would get points, but it is still a little bit of uh, difficulty, or for that matter, I would say a roundabout approach to automate the payment through credit card and then paying to the credit card. Instead, you can automate all your payments through the bank account and pay your credit card every week. This saves a lot of time, energy, and mess. Track or update your expenses every day. It applies to both of the parties. For example, me and my husband. I go and shop around in Dollarama for $20. He shops in Tim Hortons for some $5. We both through our accounts, since the Google Sheet is shared, we are able to update it on the same day or in the week, so that the accounts are matched and up to date. Set savings and investment goals. As I told you, once you transfer the amount fixed, or you've decided particular amount to be transferred, you still have some amount for yourself as savings. You can use that savings as a liquid savings, or you can have equity or investment goals as well with that. If you're expecting any big payment like annual fees, divide the whole amount um, into each month and include it in the budget. For example, you are taking Amazon as a annual subscription. Take the complete amount, divide it into 12, and include it in each month. That way you will have um, the particular amount in your bank account when it's due. Have a contingent saving apart from regular savings. So the regular savings I spoke about, which is there in your separate bank accounts. The contingent savings is for your contingency in case it arises. Otherwise, it's just building up, and you can have like it, good that you didn't have to spend those contingency expenses for maybe 2 or 3 years. It's built up in a good amount. You can go for a home makeover, a room makeover or a renovation which is pending for quite some time. So that way it is helpful. Review your budget every month to know what is working, what is not. It's very important. You have to go through each and every item, line item, and check if whatever you've allocated for that particular item is correct, or if you need more or less, or you can get away with it. Like if you, for example, right now with COVID situation, we are not eating out. So that's the reason I've actually reduced the amount to 100 or $200. But in case things are getting normal, we do go eat out, the grocery bill will come less and then the eating out will go up. So you have to make your adjustments according to your need. So let's jump back to the main page, the monthly budget. So here I've put all the fixed expenses as the same, and in case of variable expenses like the utility, grocery, and other personal expenses, I've just tweaked a little bit so that, for example, in hydro I put 73, which saves me $7, and in case of natural gas I put at 90, which in which I'm actually overpaying $15. So this indicates that I am actually budgeting less for gas in this particular month's winter months. So I need to budget for more. Or maybe in the summer months it's coming less, and I've not changed it right till now. So I will have to review the budget and change it. So this is an indicator if I'm doing correct things or not. So same way it goes. And again, miscellaneous expenses, as I gave like give you an example. If there is a miscellaneous expenses unexpectedly uh, more than what you have budgeted, it comes negative over here. So this indicates if you are good to go or you need more money put into the account. In this case I have uh, an surplus of $29. So I have actually linked this particular expense, which is an actual expense over here, and this is basically my income minus expense, which is my savings. Now next I have a yearly tab. So in here I basically just track the income and expenses and savings, so that in the complete year I can have a look how I'm going through, like which are the better months and which are not so okay, where I need to allocate more money. This will give me a complete yearly overview. uh, Once you are done with it, if you want to go for the next month, you just have to right click, create duplicate, and rename it, and then you're good to go. So you just go change, budgeted remains the same, you just have to change your actuals and you're good to go. So I hope this was informative, and this is how I do it at my home, and it is working really well for us, where we were able to save. And we've been in Canada for 2 years, 2.5 years now, but we were able to save a good chunk of money, and bought our own home within 2 years. So that, I feel that's an achievement, and this particular system helped me with that. So that just was my goal, and I could do it. So simple, basic accounting, but it will help you for sure. I hope this was informative, and you guys would give it a try, and let me know in comments if you like it, or if you have any other tips, recommendations. I would have be more than happy to listen to them. Thank you. And if you like the video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.